A group of ministers tasked by the Goods and Service Tax Council to look into taxation of online gaming, races and casinos have agreed to levy 28% GST on this segment. The GOM, headed by Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, today discussed the valuation of services provided by casinos and online gaming, and sources aware of the proceedings say that they proposed a flat 28% rate. Let me first go across to my colleague Prakash, who broke the story, which has been confirmed today. Let's listen in.
See, it was very important meeting today on new GST structure related to online gaming, casino and horse racing. As we have reported earlier, that the group of ministers may approve the proposal of 28% GST structure on all these three categories, which is 18% now. In line with that, the group of ministers in today's meeting has given a final shape to its recommendation and has recommended 28% GST on all these three categories, that is casino, online gaming and horse racing. Apart from that, the group of ministers have also given their go-ahead on the recommendation of fitment committee, which is related to the structure of calculation of GST on all these three kind of category. As per the sources, the GST will be levied on the entry fee or the initial betting amount of all these three categories. Apart from that, as far as the online gaming are concerned, there was some different opinion even within the group of ministers. Some ministers have their opinion that the treatment of GST on online gaming, which is related to complete gambling, or where there is some skill is involved, there should be different treatment. Where the skill is involved, it should be it should be put into the 18% bracket, but if there is a complete gambling, it should be put into the 28% bracket. But after the whole discussion, the group of ministers have finally decided to go with the 28% structure, because there should be uniformity and there should be no confusion in industry's mind. So they have decided to go with the 28% GST slab. This recommendation will be sent to the GST Council in a day or two, and it is expected that the GST Council is going to meet later this month or in early June, where the final approval will be given to this recommendation.
All right, that was the report filed earlier by my colleague Prakash. But now the question is, what does this do to the online gaming industry, which has been growing at breakneck speed in India? It has also become an option for making money for many youngsters and is seen as a game of skill. Now, it's always been in a spot of controversy. Many states have sought to ban online gaming as well, because they feel it's spoiling the youth and having a bad effect on them. But on the other hand, it is just growing day by day. So what's going to be the impact of this 28% tax rate? To speak on this, I'm joined now by Lokesh Jain. He's the co-founder of 8-Bit Creatives. I'm also speaking with Jaladhi Surati. He's senior consultant at RedSeer Consulting. Welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us this evening on the India Development Debate. Lokesh, let me begin by getting your take on this 28% proposed tax on online gaming. Do you think it's going to have a chilling effect?
So honestly, if this 28% is applicable till the prize money after cutting all the division of net revenue, it's fine. Like your colleague said, that they are planning it to the entire prize pool or the entry fee. I think it will be making a very bad negative impact, and it would take a lot of publishers as well, and organization owners like us who have been putting on money, have been investing to raise this ecosystem on a downward phase, because 28% straight up tax on the entry fee is something which will be new to us. Already we are paying casual earning fee, that is 33% flat on the prize winnings and the competitive scenario. I have no clue how online gaming and gambling things work, but when skill-based gaming comes, I think it's 28% putting straight up tax on over the 33%, which is casual tax, which cannot be removed in any case, will be a big setback for the industry. And it's an emerging industry, of course.
The idea behind it that there should be uniformity. And the important point here, let me come to Jaladhi on this, is that they have clubbed online gaming in the same category as horse racing, as gambling online, as betting. What do you say on that? Do you think it's fair or unfair?
Well, thank you so much actually for having me today. You are right. The fact that to claim this under the ambit of just being uniform and clubbing it with all the other forms that you just mentioned, right, from horse racing to all the other gambling related games, is actually not fair. Even within the online games or real money games, as we call them, there are skill based and non skill based or gambling related games. So I don't see why this should actually be considered as a uniform and equal to all the other non-skill based gambling related or money related games.
What is the kind of impact you see because of this tax, Jaladhi?
Well, the first and direct impact, obviously, as my colleague here just mentioned, and the panel, is that companies would actually face a crunch in a sunrise sector such as this. That is very obvious. That is something that we would see. An implicit impact or a secondary impact could be the movements that these players would have to take in order to mitigate these things. So, in a sunrise sector, typically, no matter whether it be this or anyone else, when you suddenly tax it so heavily, there are heavy chances of it moving out or away from this tax geography. I mean, we do not. I would say I would actually not be surprised if companies start moving out. Something that we have seen in other such categories, which were very recently taxed heavily as well.
You're talking about cryptos. You're talking about cryptos.
Yes.
Okay, but some would argue, and let me come to Lokesh here, some would argue that there is no reason why online gaming should get preferential treatment. And what would you say to that argument? There are many who also are worried about the impact it is having on youth.
So online gaming, which is considered to be a skill-based, professional, proper mainstream job in West and a lot of Southeast Asian countries as of now, we are already taxing up high on the taxes applied to it since the beginning because it has been a new thing. Now, since the growth of online gaming industry, skill-based, I'll quote on this, has been growing rapidly since 2 to 3 years. I don't think there should be any chance for youth to be in every job. If a youth wants to become potential actor or a cricketer or probably doctor, engineer, I think we see it like this. It's time we start seeing that the kids like this in the same fashion rather than demotivating them, spoiling the youth. Because I myself have 45 young guys under my team, and they're making enough which shouldn't be saying IIT graduate doesn't make in a year. So I think it's a mainstream work already, and we are already taxing up high in India. We have been already the highest tax receiver in terms of gaming industry is concerned. It's on a global market in European and US standards. It's 10 to 15% flat tax on gaming.
It's exactly this what you've just said. When you've said that, the kids working with you are making more than IIT graduates. And this is why people say that, wow, in that case, let them pay 28% tax. I think you're proving the point, aren't you?
So kids can pay on the prize pool, which they're already getting. The point here is, concerning point here is, firstly, the game is being compared, the skill-based games are being compared to the gambling and horse racing. There are a lot of cash and, other kind of money is involved. Here, the entire thing on a youth depends on the prize pool. Not all teams are developed in the same fashion which we have developed in past 3 years. There are a lot of newbies coming. There are a lot of international companies coming. FDI is already there. 5-6 global brands have already come into India, into gaming. Watching their step, a 28% straight up booster to them, I don't think it will be a good idea for them to, in terms of, whatever, there's a lot of marketing expenses and things like that. And if players are making money, it's absolutely fine to tax them or apply charges on their winning pool, not their entry fees or the entire competitive prize pool. What I mean to say is, suppose the XYZ tournament is for 1 lakh rupees. the tax could be applied on the 48% amount remaining with the organization rather than putting it on the entire 100%. I mean, like, that's a big figure. If we round it off, it will come to 118% in total. So that's a matter of concern. We did our maths, and yes, to the new emerging organizations and gamers, it will be a tough
Do you
thing to
think they'll move out, like Jaladhi is saying?
Absolutely, I think they would be having no option left because there is very small room for making money in esports as of now, because it's a developing market. People are bringing their faces, they're putting investments already. They are taking it as it's a sunrise phase basically. How they're seeing is it's a 2-year, 3-year plan to grow, but all of a sudden implying 28% on a thing which never existed. 18% tax GST was applicable, that too on the prize pools, which used to be deducted by the government. Already casual gaming fees used to be deducted, and then 18% was there. So over it, 10% added, it's not a big deal. But still, until the regulations come out, what rumors we have heard through media and press is the uniformity should be on the entire prize pool. That is something which will be a major
Clear.
change.
This is a GOM recommendation that we're reporting today, but the GST Council has to finally approve this, and we'll have to wait and see what happens next in those terms. Any last comment before we wrap, Jaladhi?
Yes, actually, yes. Thank you so much. As you very rightly said, these are recommendations right now. We need to wait to understand how exactly would this pan out. See, the spirit behind this is the fact that they want to prevent the onslaught that gambling is giving in to the youth or something. But at the same time, we need to understand that in an industry like this is also giving a lot of earning potential, both for the government, both for gamers, both for companies. So there has to be a balance, which I'm sure the honorable ministers are actually thinking about. And once the final council gives out their report, it might be something that's probably going to boost the entire gaming industry further. I hope that is the case.
Wow, that's optimistic, because the purpose of the GST Council is to determine how much to tax, not to boost industry. And
I understand.
No one's going to want to give up tax right now in this economy. But anyway, thank you so much, Lokesh and Jaladhi, for joining us on the show today.